What events highlight unmapping in Scandinavian cultural organizations? What events highlight unmapping in Scandinavian cultural organizations? This concept involves questioning and redefining established cultural and organizational frameworks. Several key events illustrate this in Scandinavia. First, let's look at the dissolution of the Sweden-Norway Union in 1905. This political shift marked a significant break in Scandinavian unity. It challenged the pan-Scandinavian identity that had been nurtured in the 19th century. After the breakup, anti-Scandinavian sentiments grew in parts of Sweden. For instance, in Hamburg in 1906, Swedish members left a pan-Scandinavian association. They formed their own national society, declaring that Scandinavianism was dead. This event shows how political changes can disrupt cultural identities and force groups to redefine themselves. Next, we have the reforms in Norwegian public institutions after the terror attack in 2011. This tragic event revealed failures in police leadership and culture. In response, Norway initiated reforms aimed at changing the cultural landscape within the police force. These reforms included centralization and new performance management tools. This shift challenged traditional hierarchical models, representing an unmapped approach to institutional culture. Another significant event is the shifts in Nordic cultural policy governance in the 21st century. Nordic cultural organizations have faced pressures to adapt to market-oriented principles and decentralization. The traditional Nordic cultural policy model, which balanced support for individual artistic activity with public participation, has undergone reforms. These changes question previous institutional arrangements and representing a form of unmapped cultural governance. Additionally, consider the introduction of gender quota legislation in Norway between 2003 and 2006. This law mandated gender quotas for corporate boards, disrupting traditional gender roles and leadership structures. Many companies had to change their governance models and even ownership structures to comply. This event illustrates how cultural mappings related to gender and power are contested and reshaped. Lastly, we see a broader shift in Scandinavian identity with Nordic cooperation. This transition moves from a narrow Scandinavian focus to a more inclusive Nordic model that includes Finland and Iceland. This rethinking of regional identities involves unmapping old cultural boundaries and creating new ones that reflected contemporary realities. In summary, unmapping in Scandinavian cultural organizations is evident through political changes, institutional reforms, policy shifts, and legal interventions. These moments requiring organizations to renegotiate their roles and cultural meanings within the Scandinavian context.